Yeah, what's good, people? Back at it for another episode of What's the Word with LJ Mental Podcast. As always, I'm your host with the most, LJ. Alright, so, word of the week. Started off, I'm saying the word of the week is awareness. Let me get into why in a second. Um, it's getting real. Summer is officially here, and yeah, it seems like everybody officially back outside everywhere, not just in in Georgia and Texas where it seemed like shit never closed down. But yeah, back outside it seemed like everywhere. They lifted the mask mandate basically in a lot of places, and um, seems like COVID cases are down. But yeah, the reason why it's awareness is for a few reasons. But I'm gonna start with this, right? Um, I want to start off by saying, talking about like how the government passed the law, so the federal holiday now, Juneteenth, is going to be officially a federal holiday. And I know I said last week I didn't think it was ever going to happen. I'm glad I was wrong about that. But there's something that we need to keep in mind that's very important about this whole thing. For one, black people is gonna celebrate Juneteenth anyway, regardless if it was passed or not. I've known about it for years. I know some people start just now starting to get hip to it last few years, but yeah, I've known about it for years because back home in Buffalo, where I'm from, they had a big festival for many years, as long as I can remember, since I was a kid. So, um, but yeah, the reason why it's important to not just pay attention to that, like, it's funny how, right, ignoring some things that really matters, right? Because since Joe Biden has took office, right, when he first got in there, he passed a law to help the gays, which is, I ain't got no issues with that. I mean, that's whatever. And then he passed a law and you got the anti-Asian hate bill. Cool, but still to this day we still have no black laws to protect black people from police brutality or any type of discrimination. There's still no laws that's been passed in favor of black people. We've been waiting on this Emmett Till bill for years. Which they've been trying to get this. I don't know why it's taking so long to get the George Floyd Policing Act bill passed. When these other bills against these other races have passed specifically for, we can't lie and say all these laws are for everybody because they're not. Um, so yeah, that's one thing that we need to keep in mind. So we don't just get distracted by other people looking at you like, oh, we gave you Juneteenth. What are you complaining about? For one, like I said, black people's gonna celebrate it regardless whether it was an official holiday or not. It's another day off. For people, that's cool. But um, that doesn't make every business that works. Um, if people get it off, I know some businesses don't even still to this day celebrate MLK Day and get that day off. They don't. Some businesses don't even recognize that as a national holiday. So even Juneteenth, some businesses, even though it's going to be a federal holiday now, some businesses might not still to this day recognize it and get it off. But the main point is, I don't want people to look at this and say like, oh, black people getting this and that, oh, what are you complaining about? Because I already know there's going to be white folks and some others that are going to say that. Because they've been saying it for years. But we can't let this distract us from the point of there still has yet to be any important bills that could create real change to help black folks. There still hasn't been any legislation passed in favor of black people when there's been clear evidence of real bills affecting others. Yeah, I don't know. It's not that hard to figure out that that's the case. Just because you throw in a federal holiday don't make shit right, because it doesn't. Um, it's great to recognize we started, but yeah, I just want people to be aware of that. can't like get distracted from the propaganda because there's everybody in office has an agenda. Everything make it a political matter. That's why they call it politics. Want to play to the crowd instead of they might not always do what's right and what should be truthful. You gotta play the game, play to your crowd, play to some all, so to speak. I'm using air quotes right now. Play to all, and it's not really, but it really doesn't benefit all. But I mean, I hate politics. At the end of the day, I pay attention to it because it's necessary. I like to know what's going on. Um, but yeah, I just hate politics. Like things you playing to the crowd and playing to your agenda rather than actually doing what's right. Um, but yeah, just be aware. That is always a game. People just doing what they do. They just playing it legally. Like dudes on the street in the hood doing what they do. They got to play by the rules of the game. And politicians doing the same damn thing. They playing by the rules of the game. They playing the game. So whether you in the music industry, whether you out on the streets in the hood, you doing this or that. Everybody doing anything to play the game. But yeah, these politicians play their game really well to cater to whatever crowd they're trying to get to. But rather than doing what's right. But yeah. Now, another thing another reason to be aware also is these COVID cases are down. I was looking this up because I was curious in other parts of the world. Um, COVID cases seem to be down throughout the entire world, but um, you could say whether it's the more people getting vaccinated or not. I'm not advocating campaigning for people to get. Cause I see all these campaign ads. Make sure you get vaccinated, and it seems like if you don't want to get vaccinated, people are getting frowned upon. I'm not here to do that, cause I got people I know and love that have been vaccinated. People I know and love that said, "Hell no, I ain't never getting that damn vaccine." And I agree with either one of you. So, I was skeptical about it. I've gotten vaccinated because I actually had COVID last year. And if I'm going to be traveling, and I know that airlines or whatever, well, me personally, that's why I wanted to get it. If I'm going to be traveling places, I know you either have to have a negative COVID test or to make sure you have a vaccine card showing you've been vaccinated. But yeah, it's I'm not here to advocate saying, oh, you should get vaccinated, because I'm not even sure. Because if they do it, started saying, well, you need it every year, I'm not getting it every year. I'm not doing it. But yeah, cases are declining. But it's important to note that I know in some other countries, and like even in Canada, the Canadian border is not open yet to the U.S. They still haven't gotten that open, but they don't have it as available. It's not as available as in the U.S. and some other places. Actually, a lot of countries, I think, don't have it as available. The access to vaccines aren't as available as it is in the U.S. and some other countries. And I'm not sure. Don't quote me on it, but I heard that they possibly in some places trying to mix vaccines. I don't know how accurate or true that is, but I did hear that there's some. So they're trying to mix the different brands of the vaccine, which that's probably not a good idea. But yeah, I did hear that. So, but don't know how true that is, but I definitely heard that. I heard some doctors speak about that on ABC. So I don't know how accurate or true that is, but yeah. So hopefully, if you're gonna get vaccinated, hopefully it's available. If you're saying hell no, you ain't gonna get it. I mean, I can't really blame you for how you feel either. So just make sure you do your education on what's in it. And it seems like everybody, even the doctors, is still trying to figure all of this out. So, I mean, either way, you got to do what you got to do to protect you and your family. So, unfortunately, last year, some people have passed away. They say due to complications of COVID, but for the most part, I think people that have died of COVID have had underlying conditions as well. But I don't know. and I know some cases are worse than others. But yeah, we just gotta be aware of all of that stuff. I think it's important. But now let's switch it up a little bit, switch the game up a little bit, switch it up what we about to talk about. So um, I want to talk about this NBA playoffs, right? Right now, this is in the conference round before we get to the NBA finals. I'm a little disappointed. Not only that the Lakers have been out they went out in the first round, but that Kevin Durant and the Nets, whatever. Man. I'm not a Nets fan by any means. Never been a Nets fan, never when they was with New Jersey. I'm not a fan now of the Brooklyn Nets. But I am a fan of Kevin Durant. He's been one of my favorite players since he was with the Oklahoma City. Um, Regardless of how people feel about when he went to Golden State, even though you could say it was a weak move, whatever. Um, he was still the best player on that team. But no, he was Brooklyn. And he's obviously the best player on that team, probably the best player in the world. But yeah, it was disappointing to see them watching basketball, pay attention, see them go out in Game 7. It was disappointing because I mean, I guess if you're a fan of Giannis or the Bucks or whatever, Giannis Antetokounmpo, aka the Greek Freak, and that team, then you're probably happy about that. But yeah, I mean, this seems like a weird year where, because normally it seems like when it's the conference finals and the finals, it's always like it seems like it's the best players that's been around. Like, and it feels a little different. It doesn't feel like this case this year. I mean, obviously Kawhi Leonard is hurt. The Clippers are still playing right now. LeBron is out. Anthony Davis obviously was hurt. Kevin Durant has been eliminated. It seems like all the Steph Curry and the Warriors are out. Obviously, Klay Thompson was still hurt. It just seems like all of the guys that are, I guess, at the top of the food chain, so to speak, in the NBA are gone. And this feels weird. I mean, Giannis, I guess, is one of the best players too, but this year it just seems a little weird. But Phoenix is an exciting team. I think they're probably the most interesting team left. And Chris Paul, who's out due to, I guess, COVID reasons, he is going to come back sooner rather than later. I'm thinking probably within the next 2 games at least, not Thursday, and then whenever they play game 4, Chris Paul is going to be back. So, and it'll be interesting to see him get a ring. You hinted that, because I heard guys talk about recently all-time top 5 point guards, and he's not quite there if he doesn't have a ring, which it's kind of hard to put him in that top 5 without a ring, especially when your contemporary Steph Curry has 3 rings. And then we talking all time, like Magic Johnson, who's the greatest point guard ever, has 5 rings. You got Isaiah Thomas, who has 2 rings, and was part of a great dynasty with the Pistons, the Bad Boy Pistons or whatever. Even though John Stockton never won a ring, he was an all-time great. I would probably put Chris Paul over him, but yeah, it's kind of hard to be in that top 5 threshold, without a ring. I mean, he's been great for a long time. I guess one of the last guys who's considered a pure point guard, or what point guards do. But Chris Paul come back and get a ring, that I don't have an issue with that. I'm disappointed. I wanted to see either the Lakers, or since the Lakers are gone, I wanted to see Kevin Durant still in there. It'd be cool to see him get a ring, I guess. But you can't count off the Bucks, because they're the ones that beat Brooklyn. And honestly, in Phoenix, and I'm thinking the finals is gonna be the Bucks and the Suns. I don't know if Kawhi Leonard, I heard them saying he might have an ACL. I don't know if it's an ACL tear, but it doesn't sound like he's gonna be coming back. So I'm thinking, I'm saying Suns and Bucks in the finals, with probably the Suns winning it. That series could probably go 6 or 7 games, because the Bucks are a good team. I don't think they're a super team, but yeah, they're a good team. Um, and it's gonna be interesting to see, and this is a different year because last year we had the finals. I think that has something to do with it too. Why these teams are the way they are, and the injuries are so high this year because you had last year, you had the end of that peak. Those teams went in the bubble, and then the end of the actual season with the finals in October, which is very unusual because of the COVID and everything. And now, quick turnarounds. The new season, 72 game season, started back up in December of 2020, and now we're gonna have the finals in July, when it's normally in June. So, I still got some questions on how they're gonna handle the NBA. Like, are they gonna have the play-in tournament every year? I think it's unnecessary. I think it's dumb. But I'm curious about that. Is there going to be a play-in every year? Are they going to go back to an 82 game schedule, and is it going to start when it normally does? And is the finals going to be back to June? Like, I'm curious how they're going to handle that. I think after this year, it seems like things are starting to get back to normal. So we'll see. And these stadiums are packed again, and people, but we back outside. So things is looking up, looking good. So we'll see how that go. But last thing I want to talk about before I get up out of here, talk about some music. Lately, I think as far as hip hop is concerned, it's been some dope music, but it seems like lately it's been stagnant. I think guys that's been killing it now. You got Little Baby out there. You got I think you got 21 Savage. You got the Baby out there. You got Drake still out there. J. Cole dropped music. I don't know what Kendrick is doing because it's crazy that in his prime he's taking super long breaks with albums. That's crazy when you're prime. But I want to talk about Lloyd Banks, right? Because I'm going to talk about Lloyd Banks' album. Guy that was with G Unit for many years, came out with 50 and Yayo and Young Buck back in during that era, '02, when mixtapes was really starting to become popular. Lloyd Banks just dropped the album a few weeks ago. This is the first official album where he's no 50 Cent influence, no nothing, not even a part of G Unit Records, like completely separate. It just seems crazy that Banks is no longer on G Unit, and everything is different now. But first off, I want to say the album is dope. I didn't know what to expect. Like, I mean, I always knew Banks could rap, and I was just wondering how the beats was gonna sound, and the bars are still there. Like, I know people call him his nickname was the PLK, the Punchline King, and I've always said the real PLK is Big L. But obviously, rest in peace to Big L. Passed away in '99. But I've always said that Big L is the original PLK, but you can call Banks that because he has great punchlines. But Banks, a new album. The course of things about the course of the inevitable. It's I think it's a really dope album. You got some great features on there. You got my man Benny the Butcher from Buffalo on there. He got Styles P on there. He got some dope features on there, and he addresses some and he feel like he in his pocket, he in his lane. This feels like mixtape Lloyd Banks. Like, it's an official album. This feels like those mixtape Banks where he's in his lane. Like, yeah, he was going in. I know he addressed some things 50 Cent said about him in his book, Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter. There were 50 said he wish he would have did more to put Lloyd Banks in pocket to win more. Where I guess he said Banks was lazy and Even had a lazy tattoo. I don't know if he really does or not. I don't know. But I know he addressed that on the album as well. But it's I think it's a dope album. Like I've been bumping it almost all week. Um, but yeah, I've always thought Banks was dope. Um, but in this album, yeah, it's pretty solid. Um, I would if you a hip hop head, I would definitely recommend you go listening to it. I think it's honestly one of the best albums this year on the real that's come out this year. Uh, I think the guys from Buffalo, from my neck of woods, where I'm from back home, are killing the game the most. I think Benny the Butcher, Conway the Machine, West Side Gun, what the Griselda guys are doing right now. They've been grinding, and even LeBron James, he heard, he had put on his Instagram him listening Conway and Benny, uh, and everybody paying attention to them right now. Some people still don't know about them, but yeah, they've been killing the game. And but I think Banks album is tough though. I definitely fuck with it. But yeah, go check that out. Go listen to it. But yeah, we back outside. Things is getting moving out here, and you're gonna be seeing a little bit different stuff from me soon. I've been trying to work on some different stuff here. It's been a little hectic. I got some crazy stressful things going on right now, but yeah, we'll be seeing some things, different things for me in the future as far as business is concerned. But for now, we're gonna keep this pod going and keep other business ventures going, and yeah, just look out for that. So yeah, that's gonna be it for me. So yeah, I'm out.